Hi everyone, I'm Hoodie Angel Brandon, and welcome to another month of FEH Freebies, this time for August, and this is actually future Brandy. I forgot to record the intro, so hi.
Hi.
Anyway, let's get to the free summons. Alright, we have the Tempest Trial banner with Sigurd, Mercedes, and Aira, and we also have the weekly revivals 67 and 33. On this one, we're going to go for Flora. And on this one, probably Annie. So let's go ahead and grab those real quick. Pull a red for Flora. And try and get something. Okay. Ooh, yep. That's a lean, which is pretty nice. I do use my lean a lot, actually, mostly just for training other units because she does have that sword valor, which is super useful. But she also has Firestorm Dance, which is now actually kind of useful now that there's the upgraded version of it. And I remember I really wanted, back before Xander got his weapon refined, I really wanted to get Safeguard to put on Xander just to meme with a full defense build. Def plus 7 was like actually kind of funny if you wanted to do a meme build, but now it's really bad by inheritable standards. But yeah, I'll probably keep her just to potentially have Firestorm Dance on hand in case I need to chain fodder that in the future. But she is cool, so it's a pretty nice freebie. And next we'll come over here. And we're going to pull green for our girl Annie. Try and get a copy of her. And just a Shirshi. Not super good. And then finally on the Tempest Trial banner, I'm going to pull red. There's 2 units we could grab there. Neither particularly impressive by today's standards, but still going to try for them. Hoping for our guy Sigurd. Nah, that's not him. That's not him. Kamui, you don't have anything helpful. That's okay though. We still got that nice 4-star special lean, so pretty nice. All right, we've got another arena ticket, and we now no longer need to pray for Dimitri and Azura, which means they're absolutely gonna show up a bunch from now on. Just how it works. But there are still a fair number of blue units that I would love to get merges on, so we're still going to prioritize blue. And of course, that's just how they decide to play it, so I guess we'll pull a green instead, but of course there's no blues, right? Oh, is that another Sonya? She's really high up there on merges, jeez. I never go for her, but I still get her. She really likes me, which, to be fair, she is one of the cooler Sov characters, so I'm kind of okay with it, but I'm really going to have to sit down and overhaul her kit soon if she decides to plus 10 herself. Yeah, this one's plus speed. I'm not sure if I want to merge into the plus speed one. My current one is plus attack, I'm pretty sure, but that is actually pretty cool for a green, considering I was looking for blue. Alright, this month's seasonal banner is the new Invitation to Tea, Tea Party themed banner, which is super adorable, super cute, and eerily similar to what I actually kind of requested for a seasonal banner during my birthday polls. So that's very funny and very special, and everything is super adorable. I really love this theme, and I'm going to be really sad if they scrap it next year. With that said, the units are not ones that I desperately want to pull, so we're not going to spend orbs on this one. But the lineup is pretty good, just not with characters that I really want. Well, kind of. So, finally escaping seasonal jail is Aira, who is joined by Mercedes in one of the weirdest combos of all time. But they're an offensive sword cav. They have attack speed clash in the new Flow Desperation. which looks pretty nifty. Wouldn't mind having that on someone like maybe my Plagueon Chris, but I don't really need it. But they look solid. And next up is Lysithea, who is a blue tome flyer, right? She was blue. Colorless tome. Okay, my mistake. I thought she was blue for a second. Good thing I checked that because would have chosen the wrong orb. But she has gained a new pref skill in Mastermind, which is really awful. Skill descriptions were already wacky enough at this point, but now they're actually adding in like actual equations in this, and I really hate that precedent. I get that they're trying to make the units stronger so that they can sell more and everything, but honestly, if I were a new player and I looked at this, I'd be intimidated and I'd just close the app, honestly. I really think that they've gotten way out of hand with the skills, and this is just yet another sign of that. But she didn't have a pref skill prior to this, so this is her new pref skill. And it looks brain-breaking, frankly. Good for her, though, in getting a pref skill. She also has a pref tome that, yep, those are effects. And then she has the new Desperation 4, which is a pretty solid-looking upgrade over the original, and will probably be really good for a generic B slot for units that can't get things like Spurn or Special Spiral or what have you. aka ranged flyers and calves, mostly. They don't get a lot of good skills, so this will be a nice one for any of them that already have like Canto and don't need that from a trace skill. And then she also has attack speed oath 4, so very solid looking, very solid fodder as well. Then we have Sigurd, who looks very dashing, and I'm very sad. I was hoping that we would get a seasonal Sigurd, but I was really hoping he would be a demote. Engage made me really want to build a Sigurd because I really enjoyed him in Engage. And I was hoping that he would be a very cracked 4-star special seasonal demote like Summer Claude and Kadean Byleth, where he got to keep his special skill, but he was demoted with a slightly weaker weapon and less optimized stat line to make up for it. But alas, he is just a standard seasonal 5-star. He looks fantastic, but I really wish he had been the demote. I would probably be sinking Orbs into this banner if he had been. But alas, the wait for a good, accessible Sigurd will continue, I suppose. Emphasis on good, because I could pull on the weekly revivals for regular Sigurd, but yeah. Anyway, he comes with Remote Sturdy and Seal Res. Looks pretty good, though I think most units would probably have Remote Sparrow over Remote Sturdy. But yeah, looks like a fantastic unit standalone, independent of the fact that I cannot easily merge him. And then our actual demote is the lovely Ferdy Birdie. And he has a very fancy looking tome. I would actually kind of love this for like Picnic Leo. Grants attack speed +5. I guess Leo doesn't really need the speed. And then neutralizes effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks. Mostly I want the Canto effect so that Leo can run Canto and Lol at the same time. But yeah, I guess the more I think about it, this probably isn't a great weapon for Leo, but maybe we'll get more tomes with Canto in them that Leo can actually use. Something more defensive would be nice. Independent of Leo, there are probably a lot of other green mages who could use this. Maybe some gimmicky hit and run set on like maybe Rickon, since I still don't have a set for him finalized. He could maybe do that. And also Ferdinand just looks like a great demote himself. He's got a very nice stat line. That weapon is solid enough to build off of. Yeah, his art is lovely. I don't have a green tome flyer. I'm having to remind myself that I have very few orbs, relatively speaking, and that I really can't afford to go for him right now because he does look fantastic. But yes, As you can probably guess by it being in the free summon video, we're not spending orbs on this. However, I did go ahead and get all dressed up because this banner is just so fun. I wanted to fit the theme. Hopefully that'll give us a little bit of luck. But I think we're going to go colorless for Lysithea, mostly because I think her fodder could be helpful for some units in the future. Someone like, I think I mentioned Groom Robin might be able to use the Desperation since he doesn't have a lot of other B slot options. But I'm sure a lot of other units could probably use these skills in the future. Oh man, it's kind of tempting to pull the whole wheel. I really shouldn't. But it's such a fun banner. Alright, we already know that the banner later this month is CYL, and I don't care for any of the characters. So we're going to indulge ourselves just a little bit, and we're going to pull the whole wheel. I don't very often do full wheels, but everything on this banner just looks so nice that how can I not indulge just a little bit? So Kaze and Merlinus, pretty good as far as demote colorless go, but definitely not the Lysithea I was hoping to see. Roy, again, not really what we're hoping to see here, but maybe we can get Sigurd. That would be nice. Again, I really want a demote Sigurd or a Grail Sigurd. I don't care. I just want a good accessible Sigurd. That is not him. Yeah, man, if he had been demote, I probably would have had to wait till rerun, but I would have been pulling for him. And then I would have said, "Provide tea for us, emblem of the Holy War." It didn't work. I was kind of hoping maybe it would work. Alright, so that's 15 orbs spent. No luck. We'll have to just call it there. Well, at least I made those treats to cheer me up. I really hope this theme comes back next year because it's just so adorable. So many characters could fit this. I'd just love to see all the characters on this banner.
Alright, for this month's new power, we have Said, Echidna, obviously we're not going to go for the demote, Marita, and Spring Est. And apparently this was a pretty solid batch all around. There was also Legendary Seliph and Freya, who both got really good remixes and refines. But yeah, apparently this was a good batch overall. The only character I'm missing here is Est, so I guess we're going to go for her. None of them have fodder that I'm particularly desperate for, so even though I'm not particularly interested in using any of these guys, we'll just go for Est to try and round out that collection, I guess. And just an Oscar. Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, I wasn't terribly interested in using any of these guys. Even with good refines, I just,
Alright, we've got the new arena ticket. This time, Arena Reward 3 with the updated pool. They didn't add a ton of units to this, but they did add Flame, who I wouldn't mind getting, but we're still going to focus blue just like usual. There's still a lot more blues that I want than anything else, even though now we no longer benefit from Dimitri or Azura, which means I'm totally expecting them to start showing up en masse. Just another Ilger. We've seen her a few times, actually. Not super helpful, but not the worst unit that we could pull, so that's fine, I guess. Alright, we've got the Legendary Mythic Hero remix for Seliph and Freya, and they both ended up with pretty good refines, as I recall, and remixes. Freya got Speed Smoke, and Seliph got Distant Ferocity, if I recall correctly. Yes. Much better than just Joint Own Defense in DC. But I already have both of them, so I don't really need them again. With that said, I think I'm still going to go red on this one because Seliph is sharing with Ophelia, who could be useful potentially. She does have that Arcane Tome, and Unfortunately, Special Spiral can't be given to Cavs, or I'd probably be putting this on Groom Robin or something. And then over here, I probably want to pull red again, even though Freya does have Speed Smoke, which is really nice. I do like Riggin, and I don't have Tiki, so I'm thinking I should go there. Yeah, there's nothing on these lineups that I desperately need, so I'm just going to go with that, I think. Wouldn't mind Edelgard, honestly. I wouldn't mind getting a plus 10 Edelgard eventually to go with my plus 10 Dimitri and Claude. Just round out the set. And of course we've got the Professor. But I don't know which version I'd want to go for, honestly. But instead we just got an Urk. That is not terribly helpful. And then on this one, I'm going to go red again. Cool. I was going to say green, probably our backup color, but we got the red, so that's fine. And what have we got? Just a guy. Just a guy. Just some random guy. No, thank you.
For weekly revivals 74 and 34, we've got a bunch of Tellius units, and there's nothing I'm too desperate for. I've got like literally all these units, so I think we're gonna go Shinon for fodder. And then on this one, actually I think we're gonna go Nyla. She has gained a little bit more value because of Null Sea Disrupt. We have Null Sea Disrupt 4 now, so she has a little more value as inheritance, as bridge fodder for that. Unfortunately though, Null Sea Disrupt 4 is still locked in the Legendary Mythic pool, so it's still not super helpful, but it is still nice to have the bridge fodder on hand. I'm actually hoping that they put Null Sea Disrupt on some more units in the normal pool coming up, because some of the newer healers from earlier this year, and also some of the other units that have like effects that prevent counterattacks, have been kind of an issue, so I'd like to have some more options for dealing with that. So I'd really like to get Null Sea Disrupt 4 for some of my units. Soleil would like it, maybe. I've also got another character who might like it for one of the builds, although I haven't quite solidified what direction I want to take that build yet, so But yeah, I just think it would be nice to have Null Sea Disrupt 4, because right now Null Sea Disrupt 3 just doesn't do enough to justify the B slot, which is like super competitive, especially since if the enemy team doesn't have any units that use effects like this, it's just a literal dead slot. But Null Sea Disrupt 4 does kind of address that and add some extra bonuses on top to make it actually not a dead slot. So I'd really like that, and so getting a free Nyla for that would be helpful. But yeah, first we'll go colorless over here, try and get a Shinon, and then we'll go blue, hope for that Nyla. Yeah, I really hope that we see Sea Disrupt 4 on the normal pool within the next few months. Putting it on one of the Brave Heroes would be great, honestly, because then I could literally just grab it for free. But yeah, it's just well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, Lean is a dancer, so she doesn't really need merges, but at the same time, I don't really need Tiborn either. And I feel I use my Lean more, so I actually think I value a very small increase for her than Tiborn, honestly. As sad as that sounds. But yeah, I hope we... Wow, really? 2 Clarines back to back? Thanks. But yeah, I do hope that they decide to put Null Sea Disrupt in the 4 in the normal pool. For the rerun of Risk and Reward, I think we're probably just gonna go for the duo. Yeah, none of the fodder particularly jumped out at me. It's not bad, but I don't need any of these at the moment. I already have lethality fodder. Attack speed catch is fairly common at this point. Shield Def Res is okay, but I don't have anyone who I want to put it on.
Cath has attack speed push, which is even more common than attack speed catch. And then AR snag and blue feud, whatever. Layla has Swift Sparrow and Def Res Smoke, and I think from a pure fodder perspective, she'd be my first pick. And then South, I already got him like on one of my random free summons, I think for the anniversary. So I don't need another copy. I didn't even want that first copy. So yeah, I think I'd rather just get a Nina just to have her. But yeah, just gonna pull one, gonna save. Not a bad banner. Some of these units have actually messed me up, like Nina, when I see her in AR defense. She's not super common, but she can be annoying. So I wouldn't have minded getting her, but instead we got another Dorothy. Why is it that this demote that I don't care about just keeps popping up, but the demotes that I do care about I just never see? Okay, thanks. At least it's someone new-ish.
At last, we have this year's Choose Your Legends Brave Heroes with Robin, Gulavig, Soren, and Corrin, and I'm not particularly hyped for any of these guys. They're all pretty dang strong. I think actually too strong. I think they're more than a little overtuned. But we do get one for free, so I guess it's okay. It's not. I'd rather not have one for free and have them not be so OP, but whatever. Yeah, they're all annoying, and I've been debating on which character I want for a while. In fact, usually I pull the day the banner goes up, but it's actually been a few days, partially because I've been trying to decide which character I want. The other part is it dropped like right around the same time as Fontaine and Genshin, and I was much more interested in rushing through that. So held off on this a little bit while I tried to decide who I wanted, and after playing everything, I think I want Soren. His gimmick of basically turning another unit into a save unit is pretty interesting and has a lot of interesting implications. Like, I saw someone mention that you could use it on AR Chaos Season to basically bring 2 save tanks. You could also use it in like Summoner Duels, but I don't really care about that too much. So I'm leaning towards him, but I'm not 100% sure. He also has pretty decent fodder with Flare, a new skill for, I think it was ranged, I think it was non-cavalry or flying mages. I'd need to recheck, but he's got that. He's also got Magic Null Follow-Up and Times Pulse 4, so pretty loaded with fodder in addition to that. And then for the others, Robin has annoying warp shenanigans. He's got the new Gambit skill and attack speed finish 4. What does Gambit do again? Speed def -4, extra damage, and then damage reduction, it looks like. That's a lot of nonsense. too much stuff. And then Gulavig has the new Flared Sparrow for, I think this one's only available to flying ranged units, and then attack speed oath, and she does like annoying Gale Force things. And then Corrin is just a gigantic stat ball, more or less, and she also has Counter Roar, which I thought could be on Garen, but it does attack speed -4, so he's not getting full value on that, so not sure it's a great fit for him. But yeah, all of them are pretty disgustingly strong. Oh, she also has Armored Flow, which is interesting. I don't think I'd get her just for that, but it is interesting. Guess I could maybe do Armored Flow and AS Far Save on Ignots, but yeah, I don't know that that's worth my free summon. But yeah, they're all pretty dang strong, but I am leaning towards Soren. I think the most disappointing thing though is Flare can't be inherited to mounted mages, and I wanted it for Morgan. It can go on male Morgan, but not female Morgan, which is a little sad. But what I'm thinking is we'll do our free summons first, and then we'll decide. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get like Soren randomly, and then we can pick up someone else like Gulavig or a second copy for fodder. But yeah, I think we'll go Soren, then Gulavig, and then Robin, and then Corrin is the least exciting to me. But yeah, none of them are like characters I feel I must have, but they are all annoying. Also, the terrain effects. I think the terrain effects are nifty, but I think they're too large. I feel like they should have been shrunk down a bit, because like those effects look like they should how they would be on a normal game, but then when you shrink it down onto mobile, it's like, wow, that covers like a third of the map. Let's see, there's no green, so pull a colorless. Yeah, I do like the terrain effects generally speaking, but I do think that they're too large. But I was thinking like with the terrain effects, I could build like, I could either put one on like Byleth. I was thinking Gulavig's, well, I was originally thinking Gulavig's on Byleth, legendary Byleth, but then it was like, I'm pretty sure it was not available for infantry, and so that's why I scrapped that idea. But ooh, I could put it on Robin. That'd be interesting actually, because I'm still trying to figure out what I would do with him, because I kind of want to build him still, but I just can't think of a good use for him. But yeah, like I think the terrain effects open up some interesting niches for units, but it's just kind of, but I still wish that they were not as large of an area. Oh, we got Corrin, and I was thinking Gulavig in the story chapter. I was like, oh yeah, Gulavig is colorless. I forgot they made her blue here. Well, we got a Corrin anyway, despite me being stupid. Everyone was probably like, Brandon, you said you wanted Gulavig as your second pick, and you're pulling colorless. What's wrong with you? That's what's wrong with me. I was thinking of story chapter Gulavig. But hey, it worked out, I guess. Corrin still, like I said, not bad by any means. She was actually the doing the story chapters. I had to change my team because none of my units could actually deal with her. I mean, yes, I was using Sathier and the Asker trio, but like still, usually we can at least do damage to a unit, but no, we couldn't even scratch her. It was sad. I had to bring in legendary male Byleth to hit her with Ruptured Sky, and even then I had to stack some buffs to make sure he actually one-shot. Yeah, I could put AS Far Save, and I think Armored Flow is available for ranged armors too. So I could do that for Ignatz, but I'll probably just keep her. She seems disgustingly good, so even with plus HP minus attack, can definitely use her still. And lastly, try and get that green again. Yeah, I feel a little silly that I mixed up Corrin and Gulavig's colors, but it's fine. Alright, so instead, we will come over and use our free summon, and we will grab Soren that way. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and grab him. Robin would be my go-to just off of character, but in terms of utility, I think Soren is just the most intriguing option to me. So we'll go ahead and grab him, and yeah, he's got a lot of stuff. Like, even at worst, I can, if I end up deciding I don't like him, I can just put Flare, Magic Null Follow-Up, and Times Pulse on Male Morgan. Or I could build, like, I could put that on, like, Rickon, but I'll probably just keep him. He seems fun to use. So, there we go. And that's our Brave Summons, but like I said, I'm doing this a few days later because I was messing around in Fontaine and Genshin. And by the way, it's really good. Really, really good. Probably my favorite region so far. But as a result, we actually have some other banners to catch up on. So we've got the Pirate banner rerun. So I think we'll go for Big Sis Hinoka. I don't need Nasala anymore. I got Stall Ploy for my Nils. Yeah, I think we'll just go green for Hinoka. Well, never mind. I guess we'll go Surtur because we got that combat manual and I could potentially merge him. Oh, wow. There he is, the big man himself. Donald, you're not helpful. And then I think I also have a arena ticket, so let's go ahead and redeem this as well. Lots of stuff, lots of stuff. Pull a blue, try and get a Selkie. What have we got? Oh, just Olwen. Not super hype. Okie dokie. Speaking of blue, I did feel a little tinge of fear, like what if I pulled another Azura? I still need to work on the Azura showcase, and also, speaking of, I finally recovered past 300 again, recovering from the big birthday summons. So yeah, that's good.
For weekly revivals 68 and 35, don't have a huge preference. I'm gonna go green on both, I think. I think both of those characters. I don't have Surtur anymore because I foddered him. Well, never mind. General Legiorn, I guess. I was gonna say I don't have Surtur anymore, so I'd go for him. Then Rinka probably has the most helpful fodder right now. Not that any of them have fodder that I desperately need. So, yeah, not the most exciting banners. All right, pull a green. Okay, just an Atlas. Whatevs. For the Pirates Pride rerun, we already have Xander and Geese, and I think we also got like a Tibarn combat manual. But I think we'll go for Tibarn again anyway, just that we have the actual unit, because I did have him and then I foddered him, so wouldn't mind picking him up again. And Bridget doesn't have anything super useful. She just has Steady Impact and Pulse Smoke. And Harsh Command, I guess. So could be fine for slapping stuff onto a unit for arena score, but I don't think that's super high priority. So gonna go colorless. If there's no colorless, then I guess we'll go green as backup, because I do still use my Veronica. But we'll get this colorless and honestly hope for something more exciting than Tibarn. But yo, Kiragi, that is more exciting. He's gonna shoot down that big old bird and gonna prep a feast. Yay, Kiragi!
For the Hall of Forms, I already have Roy, so I think I want to go for Lilina. She's pretty strong, and she has some pretty nice fodder, although I'd probably just keep her. Igreen wouldn't be a bad backup either, although she's not as exciting because she doesn't have fodder, but she also has like crazy range. I remember getting caught off guard a few times by her. And Kath is cute, but like, let's be real, I don't need her, so... yeah, I think we're gonna go blue, colorless, red in the worst scenario. Feel kind of bad for Roy because he got Spurn as his special skill for his remix, and then they just dropped Spurn 4, and it's like, oh wow. Anyway, we just got Karin, who does not do anything for us, sadly, but it's okay. I don't need a Lilina. Alright, for heroes with savior skills, we have our guy Dudu, who I would really like, so I'm gonna pull any greens that pop up. If this banner had a spark, I'd actually just pull on it until we got a spark and got him there, but sadly no. We also have Lady Rhea, who will probably go for if there's no green. but Dedue is definitely our target. And then Gilliam, actually, he's probably better than Rhea because he does have Vengeful Fighter 4, which might be useful for Dedue in the future, but yeah, I'd rather just pull any greens. Well, never mind. One day I'll have a +10 to do. One day. Not today, sadly. Just a Roderick. Wow, thanks.
For this month's Double Special Heroes, we finally have the return of Kadean Nino, who I was waiting for a very long time, and then they dropped Summer Fjorm, who just had everything that she had that I needed for Byleth, and then also Spurn 4, so I no longer need this Nino, sadly. She still wouldn't be bad, she still does have great fodder, but I no longer have her as a must-pull, so not going to go out of my way to chase her. If I did get her, I'd probably actually just put Attack, Speed, Finish, and Times Pulse on Legendary Male Byleth, and then I would have all three of my Byleths with those same A and C skills. But she is sharing with Dorothea, who I also already have, and so I don't really need her. So red is kind of not as enticing for me. On blue, I also have Mark, and I do kind of want Takumi, but definitely, again, kind of a not must-pull situation. And then Colorless has Annette and Rebecca, both as demotes. But they're both really good demotes. If I didn't already have my Annette +10, then I'd probably be really excited here because I could stock up on Attack, Speed, Finish fodder. But Annette doesn't do as much for me at this point. And then finally, on green is the only color where I don't have at least one of these characters already. We've got Carla, who has Attack, Speed, Clash, and Flow, Entrace, and Speed Smoke, so a lot of good fodder, and she also just hits like a semi-truck. And then we have the immovable object to Carla's unstoppable force. We have Young Hector, who is very cool, but I would honestly probably just use for Armored Beacon fodder and Vengeful 4 and maybe DR Far Save. I'm not sure if whoever I want Armored Beacon on can actually use DR Far Save, so probably just looking at those two skills instead. But yeah, gonna pull green. Don't need to pull extra orbs though, but very solid lineup overall. Kind of wish it worked a little better for me so that I could actually pull, because there are some interesting characters that are like Takumi, but alas. Instead, we will just take this and continue saving. For this month's voting gauntlet, as usual, we are having a Brave Hero Battle themed gauntlet. So we have a rerun of last year's Braves, and I actually have all of them at this point except Seliph, so he's who we're going to go for. A very strong unit, and also has Attack, Speed, Clash, which kind of wouldn't mind having as an option for Inheritance, but I'd probably just keep him just because he is a really good unit. But yeah, we'll go for him and see if we can grab a red. Nice, got one. Don't need to pull him that badly that I'll spend orbs on that second one, but just see what we can get from this one free red. Ah, Long Ku, you don't help. You don't have a Brave. For weekly revivals 75 and 36, we have a great selection of characters. On this one, we're going to go for Corn Boy, and on this one, I'd love to get a Flame. So, going to just pop those. Try for a blue here. Well, no blue. So I guess we'll go red for Big Sis Camilla instead. Really would have liked a blue. Get a potential Corn merge. So then we got Tharja. And kind of related, they just the other night they dropped the Resplendent. They dropped the next Resplendent, and they skipped Tharja again, and they skipped Camilla, and they went with Rajat, who is not Tharja, and also not the green Fates unit that I was hoping to see, so disappointing all around. Tharja and Camilla are two characters who I just can't believe still don't have a Resplendent yet, but I'm not especially interested in Tharja herself, but I do think I like her more than Rajat, so still a odd choice. And on this one, we're going to go for Flane. So pop a colorless. And hope for a merge on her. I do really like Flane, so getting her maxed out eventually would be kind of cool. Instead we got Sarah. Does not help. There's a vast gulf between 4-star and 5-star healers, so Sarah does nothing for us. But we also have our free summon from the arena tickets, so get to redeem that. We could go for Flane again. Oh, well, I think that might actually be the play, is go colorless, and if we got a Flame here, that would be very fitting and very funny, but not going to hold my breath on that. Oh, we got Big Sis! Well, we didn't get her from the Adrift reruns, but we got her from this, so we'll take it. Do love Big Sis Camilla. This one is plus attack. I don't remember what the current one is. I think my current one is plus attack too, but definitely could have been worse for a wheel without any blues, so.
Yo, we've got the rerun for Festival in Hoshido. This is still one of my favorite banners that we've ever had, and I'd still really like to get Micaiah and maybe Ryoma too, so might actually spend a few orbs, pull any reds, and maybe any blues that pop up. More dancers just always fun to have, and I think that these guys still just have some incredible art, so would love to pick them up and just complete the collection. Sadly, only one red. I'll still pull the blues, I think, too. I was a good boy. I saved my orbs, and we're back up to like 360 now, so I can afford it. That is not the Micaiah I was hoping to see there. Very sad. Speaking of dancers, I do still have... yes, we want to continue, actually. We do still have the Azura showcase, and I've already started working on that. I've started recording for it, but I've been busy, and also I wasn't feeling great for a while. But that is still a thing that I'm working on. It'll probably be sometime next month, but I did not forget. I just want to let you guys know I did not forget. That's not Ryoma. That's not Ryoma. Bah. Sad. One day I'm gonna have those dancers. One day, not this day, but one day. It is once again ticket time, and this week was considerably easier because it was a legendary female Byleth bonus week, and I have her, so was much less of a struggle. But let's see what we can get here. Once again, hoping for something cool off of blue. Would really like a Selkie or an Adrift Corrin. Those would be my top two picks, I think. And so we got regular Hinoka. Not supremely useful, but I do like Hinoka okay, so definitely not the worst thing we could have gotten. We could theoretically make a super kitted out Hinoka at some point. I wouldn't mind having a plus 10 Hinoka. I'm not sure if I'd go for this version of her, though. Probably her colorless bow version. That would probably be the easiest one to get. That would also be actually decent. But still not the worst thing. Finally, to end the month, we have the new legendary hero, Alir, the female one specifically. Okay, when people were asking for more engaged characters, I'm pretty sure they meant please add new characters that fill out the roster, rather than immediately start giving alts. Yeah, that really
wasn't what I had in mind, and I would assume it's also not what everyone else had in mind. But yeah, female Alear already has an alt. We have like barely any of the roster in the game, but boy, second version, just what we needed. Anyway, she has a lot of good skills here. She's got attack speed finish and the new attack speed pledge, which is kind of like attack speed oath, but instead of warping, it gives you special acceleration, so that is pretty nifty. Kind of just built-in darting breath. Actually, breath skills need an upgrade or something. I feel like they've fallen pretty far behind. We have all those breath seals, and like I don't even use half of them. But then she also has Null Sea Disrupt 4 again, which I was actually talking about earlier this month that I wanted it, and I was hoping that it would pop up on a new hero banner and be a little more common, and well, it popped up just once again on a legendary hero, so it changes essentially nothing. But yeah, we've got female Alear as a dragon, a green one specifically, which is pretty cool. A good enough way of implementing the arts weapons, although I'd really rather just have them add arts as a standalone weapon type. They could have been colorless melee, and you could have had characters like Fram and John with it. Balthus could have gotten an alt with his gauntlets, and then you could add the Alears, and even characters like Raphael and Caspar could have had them. And then of course you'd also have the option to give it on seasonal units as well, so you could have characters like Barter, or even someone like Hector or Ephraim definitely could have easily just been gauntlet units, and I think that would have been a little more interesting. But at least this aspect of Alear's kit will actually receive some representation, which is cool at least. I will say though that the outfit they went with, kind of very completely boring. I was expecting Alear for legendary version to either use the outfit that they had in the credits sequence, or to have an outfit that referenced their kind of situation in Endgame. I think this is just kind of boring. It's very similar to the base outfit, so that's a little unfortunate. But I do still want her, and honestly I'm very tempted to pull. I'd honestly like 2 copies actually. I'd like one to keep just because she seems pretty cool in terms of kit, but then I also want that Null Sea Disrupt fodder. And I do actually have the orbs to justify it, but like, I'm not sure. She's also sharing with Robin, who still a menace, so wouldn't mind having him. And they also have Ninian, who is really strong, although in terms of fodder, I wouldn't say she's that exciting. So since I already have her, the value of green is diminished just a little bit. I'd probably just merge copies because there's so few cavalry flying dragons that I don't have anyone who I'd really want to put SR Near Trace on. Even like if I wanted to put it on like Myrrh, who is slowly plus 10ing herself regardless of my input. She doesn't want SR Near Trace. She'd probably want like AD or AR or something Near Trace. So yeah, just not super helpful. On red we have Embla, who is of course still a monster, still a massive headache, so a really good pull there. Lucia, also still a strong unit, has Repel for Life and Death and even Tempest and Harsh Command. Not as exciting, but Repel 4 is still pretty dang good. And then Cyrene, she also kind of lowers the value of red in my opinion. Most units don't want speed res catch. That's an awkward stat combo. And then Pegasus Flight 4 is, it's definitely better than the original Pegasus Flight, but I don't think that's going to be one of the B slots that ends up retaining a ton of value long term. Blue has Note, who is wow, vanilla DC. It's funny we're at the point where that looks like just kind of like, oh yeah, that's a sign that you're an old unit. And then Faye, a bit more exciting with Distant Stance, Dragon's Iron, Def Res Menace, and then Dear Old Dad Anonkos. Lots of good fodder there. Wouldn't mind another copy of him. And then finally on colorless, Ashera, kind of not great fodder, but I don't have her, so she'd still be good. Lady Rhea with Attack Res Skull, pretty nice. And then finally, Tana with the Arcane Bow would be great as a pickup as well. So a lot of good stuff. So I'm, again, very tempted to pull on this banner, targeting green specifically, but I may wait to see what next month's first banner is so that I can decide if there's anything I need there. But for now, we'll go ahead and pull any greens, and hopefully, well, just one green. Hopefully we can get a Leer. But yeah, I might come back for this banner and try and get that Null Sea Disrupt fodder at least. Nah, just a Raven. Dang, unfortunate, but that is fine, I suppose. Anyway, overall this month, a lot of good stuff between all these free summons, which gave us a fair number of good things, and also the free seasonal units gave us a lot of stuff as well. So definitely can't complain this month. In fact, my barracks are starting to get a little bloated again. I need to go through and clean them up. But yeah, overall, pretty solid stuff. Hopefully you guys got some cool freebies as well. And best of luck to you guys on your pulls, whether they be free or otherwise. And until next time, this is Hoodie Angel Brandon signing out.